Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your tastes. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Happy Friday. It is the Kim Show. on Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke alongside. We're talking some Patriots today. We're talking a tough Bruins loss last night that I should feel better about, and I don't. And then we've got the big one. We are revealing the Rogue Media Sports Network college football playoff brackets. You don't want to miss that. That's all four of us. Myself, Pete, Zach, and Scotty revealing it all. And I'll give you a hint. We each have different championship games. Boy, there's going to be some Cinderella here. Before talking about the Patriots, Zach, if I could bring you in here for a second. I have not warned you about this, but I was watching Jeopardy last night. Oh, Final Jeopardy question or answer, I guess, is this team is the only NFL team that made a Super Bowl before Neil Armstrong landed on the moon and has not made it back since.
Okay, so before 69, has not made it back since. So let's think early ones. Raiders, Chiefs, Packers, Colts, all those teams have. The Vikings have. Who is the one?
It's been a while for the Vikings, but they did make it. They did make one two after.
Who am I forgetting? Is it an AFC team?
Yes. And historically, they are forgettable.
Pete has a poster of Broadway Joe. It's the New York
Jets. Jets. Oh, what an insulting way to put it. Man had not walked on the moon yet the last time they went to the Super Bowl. So, hey, you can celebrate it. You've got a Super Bowl. That's more than Buffalo's got. That's more than the Vikings have got. But it nobody remembers it, man. I mean, it's obviously memorable, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, for sure.
55 years ago.
Well, it's because the owner's making moves based off Madden rating.
Oh my God, that was too good. Oh, it was so pure Woody, man. Madden ratings.
I mean, hey, I don't know about
this is what I'm talking about.
They always build all of my franchises.
They got their moment earlier this week where they laughed at Belichick for trying to crawl back and take that job, which is fair game, man. It's pathetic. You can laugh at it. But to my immediate point, it was the Jets are not in a position to say no to that. They're just not. And their fucking owner is basing this off Madden ratings. Could you imagine if they actually did give Belichick the job?
Maybe that's the scouting they give him, and he's like, "What's all this agility?
Woody's not willing to
number for agility."
Woody's not willing to give him a 4-year deal. He's only an 83 in Madden. The fucking Jets, man.
Hey, potential's a B+, so maybe in a couple of years we'll see how he pans out.
And so the Bills have not made an AFC championship game. I think that's correct. I think those losses to the Chiefs were in the divisional. They might have made one. They haven't made a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
In 30 some odd years.
Yeah, 92, the last one.
And yet this stretch that they're in the last 4 or 5 years, where they keep winning division titles and have a top 5 quarterback and is one of the best teams in the league every year, even though they can't get over the hump, this 5-year stretch is as good as any stretch the Jets have had in 40 years. As impressive a stretch as the Jets have had in 4 decades. That's incredible, man. The futility of that franchise. And I don't want to leave anybody out here. It's as good a stretch the Bills have had, as good a stretch the last 5 years as the Dolphins have had in probably about the same amount of time. Definitely since Dan Marino was their quarterback. But even then, they didn't have a run where they were went to the AFC Championship 3 out of 4 years. They made one Super Bowl when he was a rookie, and that was it. And they lost in 85 to the Patriots in the AFC Championship. So it's not like they had a great stretch either. So shout out to the Bills, who we will be talking about here. The Bills take on the Patriots this weekend. It's the first. They're going to play them twice in 3 weeks, which is frightening. I don't love that. I mean, maybe it'll shore up the highest pick possible for the Patriots. You've got those games sandwiching a Chargers matchup at home, which is just going to be depressing as holy hell. But the comparisons that came up early this year are now rearing its head this week as well. And that is the comparisons between Drake Maye and Josh Allen. We heard it a little bit earlier this year. And there are obviously some things that Allen has that Drake Maye probably won't ever have. But the more that we've seen Drake Maye develop, I think the closer you've seen this comparison. In fact, Tommy Curran, who is on the Patriots beat, sees a lot of similarities between Drake Maye and Josh Allen.
Reach the level or even exceed the level of Josh Allen.
Josh Allen's improvement has been so drastic from his first year. But I'll say this. I think Drake Maye's starting at a higher point than Josh Allen was. He's not faster. He's not bigger. But the plays that Drake Maye is making this year and the lack of just utter stupidity that Josh Allen would routinely exhibit, even into 2021, was knee buckling. And it's kind of gone away. And Mayo talked about that today, too. So can Maye be in the class? I'm not going to go into he can be better. Maye could probably be a top 5, top 8 quarterback. And he used to say the same thing about Mac Jones, but you'd stop around 12. Best.
That's a real good point at the end there. You know, we've heard the comparisons of Drake Maye and Mac Jones in their rookie years, and like, well, Mac Jones made it to the Pro Bowl. Like, vastly different scenario. First off, vastly different team that was around Mac Jones. They had an elite defense, a top 5 defense, a damn good offensive line, and an actual running game versus what they have right now. And something at receiver, you know, not a lot, but a younger, less injured Kendrick Bourne, a younger Hunter Henry, a guy they should have never let go in Jacoby Myers. They had all those guys. But the other thing was, we knew Mac's ceiling was not really high. Like, there was no world where he was going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. It was kind of that last gasp of, can you have a good NFL team, a competitor, without that? And we found out that not only was Mac not getting that high, but that's probably not true. That you probably can't have a Super Bowl contending team that has a quarterback that's not that good. Gone are the days of Rex Grossman playing in the Super Bowl. Okay, long gone are those days. Or Cam Newton or Colin Kaepernick, even if we look back on their careers. But obviously Cam won the MVP that year. Now, the thing I disagree with Curran in there is he's talking about Josh Allen can get a little bit wonky. Sometimes looks like he's playing for the other team, throws some real brain dead decision balls that you're like, what the hell was that? He said really up through 2021. I would argue up through 2023. There were some games last year where you're like, Josh Allen is losing this game for his team. Or 2022. Sure. Absolutely. Like, and I remember saying that about him last year. It's like, this guy is still elite, but there are just some times where you're like, what team is he playing for? Like, what is this guy thinking? And this year, whether it's Haley Steinfeld or not, I mean, he has finally become that quarterback. And I say finally, I mean, this is year 6 or 7 in the league. He's been a pretty damn good quarterback the last 4 years. And now he's playing at an MVP level. For me, he's running away with the MVP this year. And finally, Buffalo is realizing, you know, what this potential was for taking a chance on a kid out of Wyoming. You know, the same draft that Patrick Mahomes was, I think. So it was definitely a chance that they took, and it's hit pretty well. He's going to be the MVP this year. And when you compare him to a kid like Drake Maye, that's going to get the Patriots fans really excited and think that maybe he can be an MVP in the future. But one of the things Curran talked about in there is the floor and where these guys are starting at. Because you'll remember, we were saying about Josh Allen going into that draft, boy, this kid's got a ton of potential, but he is a project. Bad footwork, tries to do too much with his legs, huge arm, misses a lot of throws, but can make up for it with some spectacular throws because of his arm strength, relies a bit too much on it, doesn't read defenses all that much. All the same stuff we were saying about Drake Maye 8-9 months ago, leading up into the draft. Same stuff. And now, it took a while, 6 years later, Josh Allen's an MVP. And Drake Maye, you want to talk about that floor? Drake May is having a better year in his rookie year than Josh Allen did. Looking at it side by side, it's not exactly apples to apples because Allen played more games than Drake has played so far. If they don't shut down May, which could happen, he'll end up playing 13 versus Allen's 12. But the completion percentage, it's not even close. I mean, Josh Allen had a tough time throwing the ball into the ocean from a boat his rookie year. 52% completion percentage. Drake May right at about 69%. That's a huge, huge, huge difference. And neither team was that good. That Buffalo team was not dreadful, but not very good. And they didn't have a great complement of receivers, but Drake May's got the worst receiver room in the league. Passing yards, Josh Allen, 2-game head start. He's only about less than 200, about 175 above Drake May right now. Passing yards per attempt's around even. Passing yards per game is an advantage to May. It's only 189 a game, but Allen was only 172. He's already thrown for more touchdowns than Allen did in his rookie year, and he's thrown less interceptions. Again, a couple game lead on that. His quarterback rating by Pro Football Reference is a wild 20 points higher for Drake May in his rookie season than Josh Allen in his. And obviously Allen ran the ball a lot more, had more rushing touchdowns, more rushing yards. But your career does not get made in your rookie season. And Josh Allen is arguably the best example of that, to see how far you can come. I mean, Peyton Manning led the league in interceptions his rookie year. But the floor for Drake May is already much higher than Josh Allen's. And does that mean he's going to win the MVP? I don't know. But he could become Josh Allen quicker than Josh Allen became Josh Allen. And that's what should have you really excited as Patriots fans. And looking back on it, by the time Buffalo drafted Allen, they were starting to kind of move in the right direction. They had the right pieces in place from a front office personnel standpoint, which the Patriots obviously don't have right now. Buffalo was still transitioning that roster and trying to get the pieces to put a roster together for Josh Allen, but they had the people in place behind the scenes to build a winner around a rookie quarterback. The Patriots, I don't think, have either of those things. They don't have the roster like Buffalo didn't, and I don't think they have the front office personnel / coaching staff, behind the scenes people, to really start building around a rookie quarterback pretty quickly. Because you'll remember in 2019, the Patriots needed that goal line stand in December. Actually, it was 5 years ago tomorrow, December 21st. They had a goal line stand against Buffalo late in the season to clinch the AFC East, because Buffalo was very much still in that contention. So that was year 2 of Josh Allen. I just doubt that Drake May and the Patriots are going to be up at Orchard Park next year playing a game in late December where they could knock off the Bills for the AFC East Championship, which they've won for the 5th or 6th year in a row. They clinched it on, I think, December 1st. I don't think that's going to happen, but this is very promising to Patriots fans that the floor for Drake May is already higher than it was for Josh Allen back in 2018, because there were plenty of people laughing at that comparison a few weeks into Drake May's starting career. You know, I mean, this comparison started coming up in like early November. Drake May had started like 3 games. And people were like, you've got to be kidding. Seriously? Now they're another quarterback in New England. We're just going to instantly compare him to Josh Allen. Hey, it beats comparing him to Tom Brady, which is what we all did with Mac Jones. But that Brady scenario and that Mac Jones scenario, team-wise, coaching-wise, context-wise, much different from the context in which Drake May has started, which is much more closely related to the context in which Josh Allen started. So people aren't thinking it's a crazy comparison now, and they shouldn't. We're not going to prove anything on Sunday necessarily. Like if Drake May goes, 19 of 25 for 202 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks, that's a pretty solid Drake May day with this roster. But if they lose 37-34 and Drake May throws 4 touchdowns, then yeah, maybe we can drink the Kool-Aid a little bit. But it all goes back to what the teams can build around Drake May, because I think Buffalo's been one of the most impressive organizations of the last half decade, from getting it wrong for 25 years, really, to then completely getting it right and building it around this kid. It was a pretty impressive thing to see. The Patriots got it right for 25 years, and they might be in the midst of a couple decades of getting it wrong. And it will be quite telling to see how they work with Drake May, and hopefully it's something similar to the way that Buffalo built around Josh Allen. Anyway, we got to talk Bruins real quick. They took one on the chin in Edmonton last night, but there is reason for positivity. But I'm going to have to call somebody out. I'll tell you who that is next on the Cam Show.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Download Blogify now in the App Store. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
It is Matt Mosley, and it's the Obstructed View podcast, Rogue Media Network. I think they're learning that there's really no wonderful view of me. See, I feel like they think this feed's going to be really wonderful.
There must have been, no BS, like 20 scouts, 15 to 20 NBA scouts there to see him, and he was top 5.
When your old number wasn't working, I went through various channels to track you down. So unfortunately, you can never get away from me. But I'm happy. I'm happy to have you today.
No, thanks for having me. And you know we always family, no matter where I'm at.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday Podcast. Look at this. We got one of the great golfers in the world, certainly one of the great pass rushers in NFL history.
But he also had a vision for you. And so it was like you had the best of both worlds, right? You had somebody on you early, and then you had somebody who was maybe more relaxed.
What were a couple of your biggest takeaways? The person you referred to that I spoke with, I've spoken to some personnel people and general managers of the league to get some, independent, objective assessments of the players the Cowboys picked, and we'll go through that.
Has the general manager changed at all in the draft room?
Nope, it's been the same since I was here the last time.
Welcome back. Cam Show, Rogue Media Sports Network. Cam Stewart, Zach Burke alongside. Another beautiful day to sit inside and watch Texas high school football on cable TV. Carthage and La Vega, Zach. We've got Waco represented. And, I mean, I've rooted against these teams for quite a bit. So it's I expect Carthage to win. They always win when they're here. So I would expect the Carthage Bulldogs, but it's one heck of a La Vega team that China Spring kept held tight with for a while in that game. Anyway, we're talking Bruins from last night, 3-2 overtime loss in Edmonton to close out the trip. And it does end up being a disappointing one. You know, we had Matt Barry from the Bruins Benders podcast on yesterday, and we both agreed that, hey, you know, even if you lose this one tight, at least show that you can hang with a good team to end this trip, you know, because it's a scheduled loss, right? You're playing Edmonton, a team that went to the finals last year. They got the best player on the planet and the league's leading goal scorer. Those are two different people. And it's the end of the Western Canada trip, 5-game stretch. You just played overtime the other night. You're supposed to be gassed going into this one. And the Bruins score on like their first shot of the game. Stuart Skinner stinks. It's amazing the talent they have around him that this guy got to the Stanley Cup final. He lets one go. I mean, Lindholm lets one go from the boards, like the side of the faceoff dot. And he just throws it at the net. Skinner has no angle. Skinner sees it the whole way and just lets it go in. It's incredible. Then Kastelik scores. It's 2-0 at the end of the first period. And you're like, okay, the Bruins are actually going to have the best case scenario end of this trip. They're going to win in Edmonton, have a winning road trip, going back to Boston with arguably their best wins of the year, finally beating a really good team. Not to be. Edmonton cuts it to 2-1 in the second with Zach Hyman. And then they're up 2-1 with 3 minutes left. And of course, the Bruins lose in overtime. And look, let me just preface this by saying this. Is it the worst loss in the world? No. Again, you know, a couple weeks ago, maybe even last week, probably last week, that team would have got their ass kicked in the third period against a good team on the road. You know, we saw it with Winnipeg. We saw it with Seattle. They got crushed in those games, and they gave up. They showed some real fight in Calgary. And they showed fight last night. They should have won that game. That doesn't change that. But it's not the worst case scenario that you lose in overtime to a team as good as Edmonton when Connor McDavid is scoring the game-tying goal. But there is one thing in common with these two goals. And Zach, if we could pull them up, keep us on the screen so that I can talk through them. And basically, let's go back-to-back here. Can we do that?
Yeah, I can. Give me one way. I have to bring them in a different way. So you want No, that's fine. I can just do it. You want the game tying one first then?
Yes.
So bear with me just 1 second.
No problem.
I do.
Him off the boards and a good play by Pastrnak.
Pastrnak does not clear it up the ice, does not ensure a clear. Tries to make a play for himself, turns it over on a change. Edmonton ties the game. Like, that's so frustrating, man. Pastrnak, he just bangs that off the boards. It's down for a clear, and you get a real line change. Instead, Pastrnak, although tired, is like, I'm going to try and play this to myself because maybe I can get a one-on-one going into the offensive zone. And then he doesn't and still tries to change. That's a shit change. It's really not a good change all the way around, and it leads directly to the best hockey player on the planet coming with a head of steam into your zone and tying the game. So let's see if there's anything that carries over from that goal into the overtime winner, which also had Connor McDavid on the ice. Can we roll that one? All right, Pastrnak tries the shot. It's clearly gassed. Shit change again. Absolute dog shit change. Brad Marchand skate by. No idea what he's doing there. And it leads to Edmonton's game-winning goal. So what were the two things in common? David Pastrnak, dog shit changes that leads to the tying and winning goals just like that. So, yeah, it's frustrating. It's a scheduled loss. These guys are clearly gassed, but it's got to be better than that. I'm sorry. It's got to be better than that. And I don't think Pastrnak had a great game against Calgary, gave the puck away a ton, and he scores the game-winning goal. And then you say, well, that's what he's paid for. And, you know, the next game, 2 dog shit changes at the end of the game. So either he's hurt or they're playing him too much or he's just not putting in enough effort. And that was not a good enough effort by the Bruins and one of their alternate captains and the best player on their team. The best player for Edmonton takes advantage of that. He scores the game tire and is in on the play for the game winner. So that's the difference there. And obviously no one is arguing that Pastrnak is or should be a better player than Connor McDavid, but it just kind of goes to show you what one star player can do and what the other star player can't do right now. And it sucks. It sucks. One thing that doesn't suck or isn't going to suck is the college football playoff. And we at Rogue Media Sports Network are taking it seriously. So we have each filled out a bracket, and it is going to be a contentious reveal to take you into the weekend. College football brackets, Rogue Media Sports Network style, coming up next on The Cam Show.
Unlock your full potential with Onnit, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, Onnit has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today. Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Combine that with OrganicHemp.com's top quality CBD for ultimate balance. Start your healing journey today at GlobalHealing.com and OrganicHemp.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at BestBuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We've got all these transfer portal stats and what Dion did and what Fritz has done. I mean, that's the deal, man. That's the game that's being played nowadays.
Maybe a little bit unknown at quarterback. I mean, unknown to the rest of the world, but, you know, he dove into the portal and got a guy who is super, super athletic.
South Dakota State's really good. Give us a little bit of breakdown about what they can do and what Oklahoma State needs to be worried about.
Look at that form right there. I need to say nothing else about this because I found one.
I should start by saying we should do this more often because it just at least looks good.
Okay. I do,
and I like you guys. So like let's see where this goes.
Is that Eazy-E or Ice Cube?
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
This is like.
Was it a good day, Pete?
Shut up, Cam. This is like Joe. This is like the Doughboy era from. You probably never seen Boys in the Hood, Cam, because it probably scares you.
What are you?
We talked about how Lawrence Fishburne plays Cuba Gooding Jr.'s dad, even though there's only like 2-3 years between.
I think it's like 6.
More than
I think it's like 6, but it's ridiculously small. It's not that much, Pete. We're more on top of this because we've seen more Boys in the Hood. So
okay,
I've probably seen Boys in the Hood 40 times in my life.
They're always hard. So
that is true. Mm-hmm. They'll pull your card.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the best movies. Honestly, it's in my top 10. I mean,
okay.
And what would have become of Ricky Baker? Like literally, maybe we'd be still talking about him.
Who's Ricky Baker?
He was
Anita's son
who got killed.
I would know. I've never seen the movie.
Have you not seen it?
I have, brother. I just told you I've seen it a bunch. I was kidding.
Well, no, not that I would hold you to know.
Would Ricky Baker be coaching in this college football playoff?
Now we're talking. Probably not because he's an SC guy.
I'm leaving all the Boys in the Hood talking, by the way.
Yeah, Heupel's an Oklahoma guy.
But look at it this way. Look at it this way. He's 15 years older than Deshaun Foster, who's the head coach of UCLA. So, try that on for size.
Trying it on for size. That seems like an exaggeration. 15 years older?
Yeah, I mean, Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood came out in 91. Deshaun Foster was playing in the Super Bowl in 2004.
So 13 years older. Deshaun Foster was just.
Well, that would mean he was in high school playing in the Super Bowl. So 10 years older.
He was 22 in 2004. Okay. So, and Ricky was 18 in 1990. Now I'm getting annoyed and confused. So.
Too much math here. Let's do some playoff picks, please.
Yeah.
All right.
Who wants to start this? How are we getting this going?
That is true. I do feel like if anybody else doesn't want to, I don't mind always starting the show. I will fall on that sword. I almost said Picard, but I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyway, petard. What's the word? Anyway.
I can tell you, but it's not safe for work.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with the first round matchups, which I don't necessarily have too many. Yeah, I know that's a great place to start. I don't have too many upsets. I just have one, and the one is where it matters. But Ohio State over Tennessee, because every time I've watched Ohio State, stands for the Michigan game, which Scotty pointed out, play this year, I've seen a team that has looked really good. I know that Tennessee is good, but Ohio State to me is just on another level. I don't see Texas losing to Clemson. I don't see Indiana getting out of the first round. I don't necessarily love Notre Dame too much, but I just haven't believed in the Indiana Magic all year long. Sorry, Scotty.
I think Scotty might have Indiana winning this whole thing. I don't want to ruin it, but I think that might be it.
Might. The one that I honestly feel the best about on this first round, and I don't think I'm alone, is SMU over Penn State. For some reason, to me, I get it. Penn State, one of the most winningest programs in all of college football history, 900 plus wins. But
that's the one he feels best about.
A James Franklin led team is 4-5 in bowl games, man.
So that's pretty good. Yeah, I don't like him either like that.
This is a team that is known for being able to win it all. But when was the last time they won it all? When LeVar Arrington was a linebacker?
Before that. It was
before that, 80s.
Exactly. It's been a while. So and I hate to do this because there's other teams in here that I guess haven't necessarily shown it either, but I never buy into the Penn State hype. Are they a good team? Yes. But are they a team that can hang with and beat SMU? Yeah, probably so. But I also don't think they've been tested too much this year. So they could be underestimating SMU when they roll into Happy Valley. I get it. It's a bigger, better place. The wideout there is, when you see them play some of these teams, it's it can be fear instilling in a way or something.
It didn't help against Ohio State.
That's true. But it's a big time atmosphere. Yeah. And I don't want to knock the home crowd. I just don't think that Penn State is giving SMU their due. So,
it's almost 3 times the size of SMU's home stadium, I think. I mean, it's a whole nother league from SMU stadium.
It is.
And put a damn logo on your uniform.
I like
weirdos, man. Teams that don't put logos on the uniform do not do well in big bowl games. We're looking at them. We're looking at you.
Alabama?
Yeah, exactly. They're not even in this thing, Pete.
they have numbers at least. That's the win for them. In the next round, I think Oregon has been the best team in college football all year long. So I think that it's a close game. They find a way to get rid of Ohio State. I'm excited that Arizona State made it. I just trust Texas pedigree a little bit more. They're going to lose eventually because they never have it in them to make it past that. On the other side of the ball, just like I don't necessarily believe in Indiana, I don't believe in Notre Dame that much more. Georgia is a legacy team here who knows how to win in the playoff. I expect them to do it again. And then in the battles of, Boise and SMU, I think that'll be a fun matchup, but I have Boise. The thing where it shakes up again is I think that Boise shows that they belong in the college football playoff and they're able to beat Georgia in the semifinals. And we get a rematch of our finals this year from a game that I believe was either week 2, week 3, where Oregon got a 3-point win over Boise State. And I think it's another close win in Oregon, or another close game and Oregon gets the win.
Oh, go back. Go back. Right. Put your back up. So you've got Boise State in the final.
I do.
Okay. I mean, was there nobody else going to call any attention to that?
I think the Georgia pick is worse. Who's playing quarterback for Georgia?
That's the question right now. But I think...
Although I have Georgia going just as far if we're
just
being
wait till you
totally
see Pete's bracket, Cam.
I had a feeling. Yes. I'll take a Boise State matchup, though. Boise State, Oregon. I think that's awesome.
I think they show they belong a bit. I think that they have spent all year long being told of how, we shouldn't be a top 4 team. Also, you have Ashton Jeanty probably want to be on maybe I should have won the Heisman kind of revenge tour too in the playoff.
He's got that
the perfect time to show off, hey, I can run just as well as these other running backs. You don't think I did it against anybody? Watch me cut up Georgia.
I think Boise State has the easier side of the bracket, if we're being honest.
Because,
again, Georgia, banged up. Notre Dame hates winning big bowl games. SMU, I like them. I've got them going far in my bracket, but they are an unknown, I would say, at this level. And Penn State hates winning big games. So Boise State, weirdly, has a much easier side when you look at the other side with Tennessee and/or Ohio State, Arizona State, Texas. That's a tougher road for Oregon than it is for Boise State to get to the national championship game, I think.
Yeah.
Now Georgia is pretty friggin' good outside of quarterback. I will admit that, but
I think my fear for Ashton Jeanty is against a team like Georgia, there's just nowhere for him to go. Very quickly we find out that he's gonna, and it's not really.
What do you do against Oregon though?
It's not that look, and good for him.
Georgia's front is a monster.
Georgia is. I'm just talking about that sideline to sideline SEC speed. That's just that Georgia has shown us in the past can help them win championships. I don't know. I think that they can make him look pedestrian. I really do. When your team is built around a running back and that running back doesn't have anywhere to run, you're fucked.
I'm just not convinced, Pete. I'm just not convinced that Georgia's front is head and shoulders better than Oregon's. It is better. It is probably the best. Georgia and Texas probably have the 2 best defensive fronts in this tournament. But
25 carries, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns against
Oregon. Right. I mean, that's
nothing. Nothing.
Scotty, I didn't even know you, by the way, when that game took place. It was a while ago.
That's true.
I do want to say that.
It's a good point.
That was a long time ago. Lest anyone think that was a playoff game, I'll be the first to tell you it was not. And it was a great time to catch a team like Oregon sleeping. They're Boise State ain't catching anybody napping. I'm just the expectation of playing Boise State now is you're going to be playing a very good team. So, but again, we'll see what happens. That's why we play the games. I'm super excited for it.
All right, Zach's got Oregon.
Experience.
Who's up next?
Go ahead, Cam. You've been fucking talking.
You want me to do it? All right. Let's go.
Before we see Cam's bracket, since I put the graphics together, what I like about all 4 of these, we all 4 have a different championship game.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. So before Cam's even goes up on the screen, I really like that all 4 of us have a different championship game in the final.
It shows
that we have a couple common champions, though. Can we get my bracket up on the board here? Here we go. Look at this beauty. Yep. SMU, my dark horse, my dark pony, if you will, my dark Mustang, all the way to the national championship game. I love that matchup with Penn State right away. just because I think Penn State's frauds. They're always frauds. They've been frauds for a long time. Their last national championship winning coach is dead and shamed. It's been that long, okay? It's been a long time since Penn State has played in some big time, like I'm talking championship level bowl games. Now you could say it's been about the same amount of time since SMU has played in any kind of real bowl game, and that's true. But I love the run that this SMU team is on. In fact, I would say SMU, you say Boise State, nobody's napping on them. They might be napping on SMU, which is wild. The team that went to a Power 4 conference championship game. They're going to sneak up on some teams. I like the Ponies getting all the way there because Georgia just don't know who's playing quarterback. I give them the edge over Notre Dame because, again, like Penn State, Notre Dame hates winning big bowl games. So I'm taking the dogs in that one. On the other side of the bracket, the most convincing one in the first round for me is that 5-12, which you always pick the 12 over 5 in basketball. But I think this is going to be a blowout. I think Texas is going to kick the crap out of Clemson. I think they're so much better than them all across the field. I sneaky really like this Tennessee team all season long. I actually don't think they've gotten enough credit because they haven't had some of them like enough marquee wins that you would be like, this is the cream of the crop in the SEC. But we heard about Ole Miss and how great Ole Miss was all season long. Tennessee had a better offense, had a better team all season long. And they're just kind of sauntering into Columbus with a program that is like all the fans are ready to ditch their head coach. I just saw a dreadful performance against Michigan. And if they play anywhere like they played against Michigan, there's no shot against Tennessee. No shot. I like this Arizona State-Texas matchup. I like the Sun Devils team. I think that's going to be really close, but I think Texas just has a little bit more quality. And Oregon speaks for itself. I know it's boring. I got an 11 seed in the championship, but a 1 seed winning it. I just think Oregon is the best team in college football, and I mainly picked them because I really didn't want to pick Texas. There you go.
Yep. So wait, 2 brackets down, 2 Oregon national title wins.
Yeah, baby. It's almost like they're highly rated.
I know. Wow, like they've been first in the nation.
And it will be funny for some of the fanatical OU fans out there who drove away Dylan Gabriel so they can get Jackson Arnold in there. And Dylan Gabriel, who was one of the best quarterbacks in the country last year, it's not like he was a bum, is going to win the national championship. And Jackson Arnold leaves in shame 1 year later, crawling out to Auburn to hopefully save his career. And Dylan Gabriel at like 26 years old is going to win the national championship. Good for him.
Cam, can I just ask, like,
Novosad national champion. Yeah.
I like the SMU kind of sleeper pick to make it to the title game. I do see why you might pick them in any one of those matchups. I think believing they're going to win all 3 in a row to get there is a pretty big swing.
That's the tough part.
Can you talk a little more about what led you to pick them to win 3 in a row to get there?
I mean, honestly, you want the honest answer? I can't expound on it too much. I believe in the pony magic. I really like Kevin Jennings, their quarterback, and it's kind of the same thing that we were saying about Boise State.
This is
last
great,
time.
Scotty. You got him taking his hat off and shit. He's scrambling here talking.
Because I mean, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you the name of Boise State's quarterback. I have no idea. I know one player on their team.
I also don't know Boise State.
I've seen them play like 3 games. Okay, that's more than most people. But I couldn't tell you Boise State's quarterback. I think if SMU goes into State College and beats Penn State, they can win a Fiesta Bowl against Boise State, and that's not an easy thing to do. Go ask Oklahoma that. And then Georgia, I just don't know. I don't know who's playing quarterback. And I know.
Can I tell you? It's Gunnar Stockton.
I know his name, Pete.
Yeah. Well, and here. Let me.
And they had a nice. By the way, they had a nice rally. I mean, Gunnar Stockton comes in and they do win that game against Texas, right?
Well, this isn't William Mary. Like the guy playing behind your starting quarterback is going to be like a 4 or 5 star stud. It's kind of like, in my opinion, like Cardell Jones when Ohio State won a championship 10 years ago. Like those were his first 3 starts. I think Georgia. I don't need your confirmation, Cam. I think Georgia is the kind of program and has the horses where I believe that it's not so much about the quarterback. That's just one thing to keep an eye on there.
That's why I've got them in the Final Four.
Okay. All right.
Maddox Madsen is the quarterback at Boise State.
That's right. He's got like 6 siblings that are all named after baseball players.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Maddox,
cool. Oh, yeah, Greg Maddox.
Mickey,
He's named after Greg Maddox.
And
right?
Murphy for Dale Murphy.
EDUX,
yes. Yes.
And he's named after Greg Maddox.
Okay. Not Mike Maddox. Correct, Pete. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he might be named after Mike.
Barry Maddox. He played for the Phillies.
Yes. Yes. So that's, I mean, honestly, I don't have a great reason for putting SMU in the final. I don't. I'm believing in this dark magic that the Ponies got going.
Okay.
But Boise State does worry me more than Georgia does in those matchups.
Okay.
Well,
To be honest.
Cam, I ask about you getting SMU to the final because I did something fairly similar.
Uh-oh.
So
you upset Pete so much you left.
Yeah, so shocking that Pete had to get up and refill his water there. Throw up my bracket, Zach.
All right.
Guys, this is
knew it.
This is so easy for me.
Didn't have a winning at all.
I got to be honest. So here's the deal. I almost picked straight dogs in the first round. I almost did it. Because Penn State, Texas, and Ohio State, I just don't believe in any of them. I don't believe in any of them. I think Tennessee over Ohio State, I have the most conviction about in the first round. I think Tennessee has every piece they need to win that football game, and traveling to Columbus is not intimidating for them coming out of the SEC. I really think Tennessee is going to win that game. I feel very good about that. Texas over Clemson, I don't feel as good about. I like Clemson's head coach more. I like Clemson's quarterback more right now. Texas sticks with Ewers, but I think Texas defense is just really good. They're just really, really good. Dude, I'm picking Indiana to beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame hasn't beat anyone except Army.
It's true.
I think Indiana got their bell rung by Ohio State, and I am choosing to believe that was a lesson they needed that they can turn into.
Wait. So Notre Dame hasn't beaten anybody, but who is Indiana beaten?
That's a tremendous point, Cam.
And like I don't mind the pick, but
I think the game being in state is helpful. I think, like some of these other road matchups, like I can see why SMU beating Penn State sounds egregious for where they're having to travel and play that football game. But I just and here's the thing, like at the end of the day with Indiana, sometimes when I can't pick, like, do I like your quarterback and do I like your coach? I think Indiana has the second best quarterback in this playoff behind Dylan Gabriel with Curtis Rourke. And I think I like Coach Sig. I don't think they're going to make the same mistakes twice. I don't think they're going to go in unprepared and look bad like they did against Ohio State. So I've got Indiana beating Notre Dame, SMU beating Penn State. We're 3 for 3 with that pick now. With those of us who have gone, I think similarly, you saw SMU in that first half against Clemson have a wake-up call of what a big game is like. They figured it out. They were the better team in the second half. I don't think they come in and get shell-shocked again in a big environment. I like Cam. I like Jennings a lot to play well in that game. And I don't believe in Penn State. This is more about me saying I think Penn State and Ohio State are a little bit fraudulent than anything else, and Notre Dame. Second round, I think it's just hard to pick against Oregon right now. I'm picking Indiana over Georgia in part because I want it. And in part, I also just don't believe. I don't believe in Gunnar Stockton, Pete. I'm sorry. I don't. I haven't seen it. I think Indiana has the better quarterback in that game. I think SMU versus Boise State could be the sleeper, just epic game there that is a ultimate shootout, like a lot of fun. I take the Ponies because, again, of the quarterback. And then I actually feel very strongly about this. I feel almost strongly about this pick as I feel about Tennessee beating Ohio State. Arizona State is going to win their first game regardless of who comes out of the first round. Like, everybody's sleeping on this team. They obliterated Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. It wasn't close. I know Pete already said that you can't ride with a running back over a good defense. And I will admit, if Texas can figure out how to stop Cam Skattebo, it's a little frightening. But at a neutral site, I think Texas hasn't scored more than 20 points, like 4 out of the last 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
I like Arizona State to win that game in an upset, but not to beat Oregon. No shot. And then in the matchup of the dogs, like the Cinderellas, give me Indiana, better quarterback, better coach. And then it honestly might be a little bit of a sad title game. I think Oregon matches up really well against Indiana, but that's how I have it playing out. I know, like, I've been memed a little bit on this program for riding with Indiana a little bit this season, so I got to stick with it, man. I think they make a really strong statement. And here's what I want, guys. This is ultimately what I want. Give me a Final Four without the SEC after all this chatter in national sports media. That would just make my year. It would make me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
by the way, the point on Arizona State, like if you are one of those guys who's like riding momentum and who the hottest teams are in this tournament, it's Boise State, Oregon, Arizona State.
Yeah, but I think I totally
Those
agree
are
with
the
you.
three hottest.
I totally agree with you, but I am a true believer that the bye, as great as it is, and you wouldn't want to give it back, I think it cuts into a lot of that momentum. I really do like, but I guess now I'm thinking out loud, I guess everybody has had an elongated period of time off. So this is a unique situation.
Well, and here's what I like about Arizona State. There are Big 12 teams that would not match up well with Texas. There's plenty of them. But I think Arizona State plays with a physicality and an edge that I'm not going to say it's Georgia level, but it is more similar to an SEC team than like Colorado, if that was a different Big 12 team in that game. So I really like the way Arizona State matches up with Texas there.
I agree.
Pete,
I feel like I know one of the picks for sure, and I just have one question to ask before I put Pete's bracket up here. How much shit do you think he's going to give us when Penn State beats SMU in the first round?
For me, I mean, I'm not going to give you a lot of shit, but I believe that that's exactly how it's going to go down. I am sticking to the home field, I think, and the climate is really going to play a huge role in these games. I even think that's why SMU really has more of a puncher's chance than some of these other teams, like let's say Tennessee, because like that game's going to be at 11 in the morning. Like I think it will be like sunny. So even if it's like 25, 30 degrees, like you still have a nice football environment. Those night games, like I think Tennessee is in big time trouble. And another thing too, you see, I have Ryan Day in Ohio State beating Oregon. I'm really ready. I didn't feel strongly enough to put him over Arizona State because I kind of agree with Arizona State being on a run. And I love the way that Sam Leavitt's playing coming into this playoff, and what Cam Scatteraboo is doing is unbelievable. And they have receivers that can step up, like Xavier Guillory is one of them in the absence of Jordan Tyson. Like I believe that they have the horses, right? But I'm like, I feel like Ohio State really has something to play for. Like they have like a chip on their shoulder now. It's almost like the motivation they needed. Like they're talking about firing Ryan Day. Like that shit makes me so frustrated. I was looking at Ryan Day's schedule, or he hasn't lost more than 2 games in a season in his career. Like, and he unfortunately a lot of them come to Michigan. So it's like
can't underrate that. Can't underrate that. It almost got Harbaugh fired.
Yeah, it's but it doesn't make it any less ridiculous, right? Like I understand that that's a reality, but I think it's the dumbest shit in the world. And what did Harbaugh do? He won a national championship.
That should have been your first point, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So I think Ryan Day makes a run, and I think that run includes beating Oregon State. I think the Clemson. I'm with Scotty. Like when Scotty said about the dogs in the first round, like I feel strongly about Clemson beating Texas, and I feel strongly about Indiana beating Notre Dame. I feel like Notre Dame. It's weird. I feel like if they drawn almost any of these other road teams, they would have won. But Indiana is the one you just don't want to see. And I feel like they're kind of in party mode too. Notre Dame, like they're happy to be in the playoff. Marcus Freeman got an extension. I just
all these hype videos.
Yeah, I could see him getting smacked in the mouth. I truly could. You can't slap Cam now though because he has a fucking football helmet on.
Come and try me, bitch.
I think they run into Georgia. I think Georgia shuts them down, and I talked a little bit about that. I think our boy Gunner steps in, and I think that we get a reminder of why these programs are what they are because they're so deep. And I like my little Cardale Jones comparison. I think like this, and he showed us something in that SEC championship game. So I think that he can facilitate really taking them to the championship. I think that Penn State to you guys, right? You see that as everybody has Penn State losing except for me. I have them going into that Final Four or they'll lose to Georgia. I think Penn State's good enough. You're not asking Penn State to reinvent the wheel by beating SMU and Boise State on back-to-back weeks. So I think it's a doable task. I'm not ready to, this isn't a coronation.
I just want to get on the record of saying I feel very strongly that even if they beat SMU, I do not think they can beat Boise. Like I would pick Boise 10 out of 10 times in that game. Me personally.
I think I'm probably backing Scotty on that,
especially at a neutral site. That's just how I feel about it.
I think you guys are going to be really disappointed. I do. I really do. That's just. I think like the Sandman is coming for Boise State and for SMU. I just do because this. Here's what I'll say about this, and this is the first time we've had an opportunity to experience this, like a college football playoff, right? This is not college basketball. And what I mean by that is like you can't like get lucky and get hot and bury like 33s and upset the best team in the country. If you're in like the Final 8, right? Because obviously if you're in the Final 8, you're a pretty good team to begin with. With football, I just think like the physicality is so much deeper. And I think like we're talking about boys and men. And I don't want to say that sounds like that's a douchey thing to say, but I just feel like these guys are bigger, stronger, and faster. And guys at Penn State and guys at Georgia. And I think they might overwhelm Boise State. Go ahead, Zach, with your little finger.
That, but I would just say that where do most of the upsets happen in the NCAA tournament too? It's usually your first round there. It is those matchups like SMU coming into Penn State where they might not be ready for. In their minds, they're preparing for, hey, we got Boise State next week.
Yeah.
Things like that can still happen there. Like, sure, later on.
Yeah.
I get the point about obviously not being able to get on the same kind of hot streak.
And honestly, like, I also, to your point, like, scheming for some of these schools is going to be a huge deal. Like if it is a closer game, like, what does SMU have in their bag of tricks? Like, will they have a fucking flea flicker that they run and totally catch Penn State with their pants down or do something like UNLV did the other night? Like,
dude, Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl.
Statue of Liberty.
That's freaky.
Yeah. It's going to be fun as shit. This is just, but this is like these are my opinions. Like, and I don't want to be that guy, dude. I was raised on the underdog. Like, I love seeing the excitement, but I think until you show me in a
his reputation's too important.
I think until you show me in a college football playoff that some of these dogs can make a run and sustain that run in the playoffs, like I'm going to go with history and what I know.
So Pete, I have a question.
Wait, did you forget the Cardale Jones argument you just made like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, but he was playing for Ohio State.
But they were the 4 seed. They shouldn't have even been in. Baylor should have been in.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about the creme de la creme. We're talking now about a 12-team playoff.
Didn't Zeke have some awesome games there too?
Zeke did have some games.
Yes.
Pete, I have a question because you just went on this tirade about the traditional powers, and you also went on a tirade earlier that one running back can't beat a more physical team, and yet you've got Arizona State in the final. So you are riding with a Cinderella.
I believe in Sam Levitt.
Cinderella, and you're saying they're going to beat Ohio State, which is completely counter to everything you just said about big program versus small program.
Okay, look.
I have to hear one more thing about Sam
Levitt. I saved myself a little wiggle room here for Arizona State.
Arizona State. Why?
And I don't have him winning the championship. I do have him in the title game, but I believe Arizona State is. Like the way that they beat the shit out of Iowa State, like to me that was a statement, and the same reason they got a bye is the same reason that I believe in them, and I think that there is a significant drop off when you go to the Mountain West. I hate to be the fucking Paul Feinbaum of the conversation, But I really do believe if you put Boise State in the Big 12, that they'd be like 500. I do believe that. I truly do.
Shut up, Big 12.
But so here's my takeaway, though. All four of us have a Cinderella in the final.
Yeah, because we can't help ourselves.
Because Cinderella's hot, man.
Like Arizona State being the 4 seed, everyone's complained all the last 3 weeks that they're the 4 seed when they're ranked 12th. Like we've all got you just have Arizona State instead of we've got someone from the other side.
Yeah.
But we've all got a Cinderella in the final.
Arizona State, Boise, SMU, and Indiana.
Merry Christmas.
What's at stake here?
Ooh, that's a good question.
The national championship?
Yeah, forever wins the whole tournament.
I'm down to put a stake on this to who has the best bracket.
Yeah.
I'm down for it too. I have no clue what we'll do, but sure.
This is good. This is good YouTube right here. We're making it up on the fly.
We'll come up with something, but yeah, I would like to make it interesting.
Okay. We'll do that. Gives me reason to keep up with some of these games.
But we have to decide before tonight because Indiana Notre Dame play tonight.
Look, I'm ready to decide right the fuck now. I mean, if it's $20 a person, I don't care. If it's $50, whatever. I mean, you let me know.
All right, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out for tonight. All right, let's somebody close this out so we can end this segment.
Yeah, go ahead. You close it out.
Bye.
All right, stop.
Holy shit! Hit the.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.